Let us choose grace over certainty as we navigate our potentiality, as we navigate our promise, as we navigate our beloved. We must choose grace over certainty. We must choose grace over control. We must choose grace over waiting, to gracefully enter forward without the full ins and outs, to believe in your beloved, to believe through connection in your beloved, in your promise, in your potential, to see the world not as a problem to solve, but as a process to gracefully wander through, to play with, to experiment with, to adore, for good and for bad. For in our adoration of the good and bad, we find ourselves and indeed life in that experience. We play with the potential of play itself, the practice of play, free from the definition and judgment of good and bad, allows us to enter into a spirit of grace more easily than if we were to concentrate on specific outcomes or certainties that we have created within us. If we act only when we are confident of and certain of a desired outcome, we will never learn grace, we will never experience it, we will never have the opportunity to play with it, to play with the potential of grace, to understand that it is more than just a word, and that it as an experience is infinite. It is understood in word as a definition, but it is also a world in experience, and that world is not limited to the word. You have the word, and then you have the world. The word is something you express, whereas the world is something you experience and play with. Because the word is defined, and the world is potential to play with, whereupon we experience the effortless expanse and opportunity of grace. So we must choose grace over certainty. We must endeavour to return to grace whenever we feel like we can't act because we haven't got our course fully figured out. If we are waiting for our course to be fully figured out, then we will never discover our potential. We may discover and fulfill desired outcomes, plans and expectations, but our potential our potential cannot be found in those expectations, because those expectations are plans, they are certainties, they are form and defined, whereas potential, which grace allows us to enter into in a state of play, is expansive, it is evolving, it is growing, it is shifting, it is the world at your feet, always. And so grace allows us to soften our grip on requiring certainty for action, or indeed living, or indeed creating the life of your highest ideal or vibration or potential. To indeed come back to the word promise, it is a promise within you that you're playing with through grace on the way to discovering your potential. This promise is poetic on purpose, because there is a looseness, a space for life to emerge. The promise within us. Not a concrete plan, not an expectation, not a definition, but a promise, something something in that word allows us to connect with the vastness of our beloved, of our potential, to understand that we all possess a unique promise within us. A promise is sacred, it's not something that is controlled. A promise is something honoured, not restricted or restrained through definition, or indeed imprisoned by definition. The word promise is a sacred endeavour. It's more than a job, it's a pact, it's a connection, it's loyalty, it's relationship. And relationship can't be condensed to a word. It can be described using words, but you cannot experience a relationship or indeed your promise with words or certainties or plans or expectations. And so we enter into the spirit of grace and play in order to experience the phlephora of potential in our forward motion without gripping onto plans, or not gripping on too tightly at least, allowing some room for your promise to breathe through the cracks of your definitions and expectations. This is how we serve ourselves. This is how we serve our beloved. This is how we honour our potential and work towards manifesting its fruits. And so I would invite you to allow and engage and entertain the spirit of grace, to play with it, to hold in your mind the word or the ideal of potential, which has opportunity in it, not certainty, and to play with that potential free from the restrictions and definitions of good and bad, to show adoration and acceptance and appreciation and indeed love for the journey as it is, not as you set out for it to be. And so with this invitation, I invite you to play with your promise. Until next time, bye.